Okay, I think I got it. Hi, Sonia June. How are you? Okay, looks like this time is working. Hello, Rashid. Hello, Nishant. Now, I had a long comment that I was going to read it, but this thing wasn't showing it, so I had to fiddle with it. So, whoever that was who wrote the comment, please repost it. Just copy and paste from the old one. I still let it be on the page so you can copy it and paste it. I couldn't read it because this was upside down. Now, somebody tell me if everything looks okay here. Danielle, hello. Soon I will learn how to have this on Mac rather than the cell phone. So hopefully that will help out. But just somebody tell me if the frame is okay, if the resolution is okay, if it's not upside down. So I will know how everything is. If you can hear me okay. Okay, I won't touch it. Sihan. Now, was that you who wrote the long thing that I was going to read it, but I couldn't? Thank you, Sonia June. Okay, there we go. All right. Hey, Mr. Dadbe. Hello, and nice to see you again. Good to see you, dear. There's something I have observed and seen a lot of times in discussions is that a lot of people have problems with accepting truth, even if your argument are underlined by evidence. Truth seems to create an uncomfortable feeling in them, and they're starting to resist frantically or deny truth. What tips do you have for that kind of situation? Well, the first question would be, why would you care? You see, let's get into you, because you can't control how other people do things, perceive things, behavior. So you're trying to convince them to act or react in a rational way, logically, or the way that you or most people would approve. You can't do that. You can't ruin your day expecting a donkey to have the class and manners to sit on the table and have fork and knife in his hand and properly eat his food. A donkey is a donkey. A person who doesn't want to recognize the truth is not that he doesn't understand that he's wrong or that what the truth is that he's worried about his image. He has created an image which we all have, and our image has somehow have become more important than our true self. And we tend to want to protect, shield this image with our lives as if that image has got any actuality to it. So the people who don't want to accept the truth are thinking about their own image, their own ego, that they have to be right regardless of what. They haven't matured, they haven't understood what life is all about, what the place of truth in this life is. So instead of you focusing on trying to teach them and force them to see the light and to be civilized or logical, you focus on yourself. Why would you care? You know what the truth is, because you're also focusing on, if they don't comply with what is right, what is it going to do to your image in front of yourself, in your own mind, and in the mind of others who you want them to have a certain image of you in their mind that you approve, and you have that image of yourself in your mind. So again, we're going back not to the truth, to the image. You're worried about you, or you're worried about them doing the right thing, which all you have to worry about is you do the right thing. If they're wrong, don't be affected by it. They're not the world. They're a fragment of this humongous world and life. But you think their opinion, by not accepting your logic and the truth, then it would actually change or modify your worth and value, your image, because you think their opinion is the world. Their opinion is nothing. The truth is one. And so move away from that, trying to get affirmation by them complying to the truth and recognizing the truth. Just don't. So, I hope that somehow makes you ponder about your question and helps you to realize where you should leave this and what you should focus on in your life when you encounter these people and when you're interacting with them. You say, because Mr. Dadbe, through their not mindfulness and heedless actions, they take influence on my life and life of others, like when they go vote or have power over other people. Now you're saying if they don't vote the way you want them to vote, then they're being irrational. Well, it's democracy and people's consciousness are different, and you can't think that what you know is complete or absolutely right, or what they know is absolutely wrong, or what they know is absolutely right, what you know is absolutely right. These are all depending on what kind of information you have in your consciousness. You can't now forgo democracy in order to get people do what you think is right. Democracy is about, if something is right, more people who are normal would tend to see the truth and fairness and vote that way. So if you want to think it that way, there's so many atrocities being done in the world, and always they're wrong, by harming others, harming each other, killing, bombing, and trying to force a certain opinion and way of life on certain people, not because they think it's right or wrong, because they think it's right for them, for themselves. So that is the beginning of what you're talking about. Let people have a free ability to express their vote in a democratic way, and freedom of mind without intimidation or fearfulness of you or whoever else. They can express themselves, and most people are decent people, and they will vote decently, and then democracy will prevail eventually. That's the only way. So you just worry about you do the right thing, and whoever doesn't, they will eventually learn. And of course, there are consequences, either legal or the way things will turn out teaches them, life will teach them if their decision was right or wrong. Not everybody is at a certain level of understanding all through their lives. They will advance and improve as their age and experience in life. goes higher. So be patient, and you do the thing that you got to do the right way as much as you understand, and let them do the same, and eventually it will balance itself out by the number of people who give it a thought and see what is the best thing for everybody. What is good for you is usually good for other people, but not necessarily. And what is bad for you is always bad for the other people as well, I guess. Again, there are some deviations there. So just focus on you paying attention to the truth, and you do the right thing. And let them also worry about their own votes. Mike from Maryland. First time live watch, but have watched many videos and I appreciate your work. Thank you. I'm glad you do that. I really ask you guys, if you really appreciate or enjoy the videos on the YouTube channel, please do share the videos that you like on your social media. Let the others know about the work that's being done on this channel. Many of you keep telling me that there are many other channels on YouTube, but the contents are not as helpful and as logical as this channel is, but yet they get millions of viewers, but this channel doesn't have millions of viewers. So the only way would be perhaps you would take steps and share the videos that you like. Do your own part to let people know that there is such solutions and supports available. And if you think it's helpful and it's logical and it makes good sense, then share it so the others will also benefit. At the same time, the channel gets more exposure and so on. Anyhow, Mike, thanks very much for being here. So let's see what else we have here. Sonia is my promotional manager. Says Mehran always gives best answers. Okay, thank you. Good thing I have a couple of bigger size hats that perhaps after today I will have to use them for the first time. Okay. Now, what's new with you guys? What are new questions that we can discuss here, ponder on? So I will drink my concoction of hot water and sour cherry until you guys come up with a question. Fair enough? Give me a break here. Don't tell me the questions have dried up. So you waited for a week and you never wrote anything down, and now we don't have any questions? Is that what it is? Or is it a warm-up? Just the beginning? I wonder how many of you have seen the new video that I uploaded just last week. Anxiety and aspirin. That was the title of it. What is anxiety? Hello Akash, good to see you as well. This is such a good drink, you know. A little bit of sour cherry, the rest hot water. Nice. So Debbie, good to see you. It's been a while. Hope all is well. And remember guys, the reason that we get together here every Saturday or Sunday, depending on which Facebook page it is is to discuss topics of having to do with thoughts, consciousness, fears, desire, and ego, how they're interrelated, how they encourage us or lead us or mislead us to act, react, feel in our daily lives. So it could be about your relationships, breakups, or issues that have to do with your consciousness, thoughts, ego, desire, and ego. Ego and desire and ego, not to the ego, fear and desire. And so we can discuss these sort of things. If you go on my YouTube channel, there is a playlist called The Psyche. And there are lots of good stuff in there. And I would recommend you guys watch the one that says The Quality of Your Life, Watcher and the Watched. I think it's very important for you to understand or enjoy that video. I'm sure it will make you ponder. Sonia says, how would you define anxiety? Sonia, dear, I made a 22-minute video for you. Last week I uploaded it. And you don't want me to go for 22 minutes just telling you what it is. But in short, you know, anxiety starts and ends with a thought. The seminar I did for a local university titled The End of Fear, that can be also applied to anxiety, because thought is what makes us feel and react to that feeling. It generates a certain condition, thought, which is born in our consciousness. And then we believe that thought to be final and the only way things would turn out. And we believe it. Since we believe it as it to be true, then our mechanism, defense mechanism, goes nuts trying to do something about it, to not let that come to that sort of ending or result. And the whole thing is fictitious. A thought created it, but we react to it because we believe our thoughts. Now, I'm not talking about medical cases for anxiety, because I'm not a doctor of medicine. I want to make that clear. We're talking about the anxiety that every one of us have during every day of our lives. Everybody has some kind of an anxiety. And all of them start with a thought, and then followed up by we believe our thoughts. And then we react to that belief, for that is the defense mechanism of our brain, in order to look for trouble and possibility of trouble, no matter how far-fetched, because it thinks by thinking negatively, it can combat it and confront it and perhaps be prepared for it or stop it from ever happening, something that would have never even happened. But the whole thing is, a thought is created, then we believe it. So how is a thought is created and why do we believe it would be the basis of understanding these sort of anxieties. Well, we know that thought is created from the fragments that has been accumulated in our consciousness. Fragments of events and knowledge based on many things. Part of it, the genes have carried certain kind of information from thousands of years ago, generations past, and the most of it been gathered and formed our consciousness through our upbringing, our mothers, fathers, siblings, their interaction in our family, in our lives, teachers, what we read, dogmas, religious beliefs, customs, traditions, what movies we saw, what books we read, all of these have created our consciousness. From this field of the consciousness, which we call it field of the known, a thought is born, which that has its own discussion, which we've done it in other videos. I don't want to repeat it here. So thought is born from this field of the known, the consciousness, the content of the consciousness. So for us, this thought that we think is something amazing, it's actually is born based on a limited amount of information in our consciousness. But we don't think that it's limited, because to us, our consciousness is the world. Our consciousness is the entirety of the world that we, or through which, we interact with the infinite world. So using a limited information, we're interacting with the unlimited possibilities of the world, of the life. However, we don't recognize this real world being so unlimited. We only recognize the world to be the limitation of our consciousness, because we interact with the world through our consciousness being limited. We think the world is limited. Therefore, whatever happens that we come up with a thought in our consciousness, we think that thought is final, because our information in our consciousness is limited, yet we think of it to be whole, complete. Nothing more than that exists. That's how we think it is, because our consciousness is what we are confined in, confined ourselves, and we don't even think that there's something beyond our consciousness, because our consciousness is our understanding, is our information. And since we don't understand anything more than what we have here, we think nothing more exists. Therefore, when a thought is born in where we think it's everything, then we believe the thought. We don't think of it. The thought may be limited information, maybe not complete. We believe it because it comes from the whole world, which is actually limited to our consciousness. That's how we see the whole world. So when you believe it, what else to do than react to it? But once you take your thought out of your consciousness and recognize that there is a world beyond your limited understanding of information and knowledge, and that you're not complete, you don't have complete knowledge of whatever else possibilities exist in the world, then you will not so easily believe your thoughts that have been conjured up out of a limited knowledge in your virtual reality goggle, I call it, our consciousness, which limits our vision to what is in that goggle. We cannot see anything beyond the frames of that goggle. We think, therefore, the movie that we are watching through this virtual reality goggle is the whole world, is the whole thing that is happening. Nothing else beyond it exists, and our full attention is there. That's why we enjoy it so much. And the consciousness have created the same kind of a thing as a virtual reality goggle. We think nothing else exists beyond the frame of our consciousness. Therefore, whatever is in there is the whole thing. We have full attention on that, and therefore we can't see anything beyond it. We believe this is the whole thing. Therefore, when a thought comes, we are totally taken by it. And then we react to it if it's something dangerous, negative, worrisome, and so on and so forth. I hope that wasn't too long, but it wasn't the whole conversation. So you may want to watch that Anxiety and Aspirin, the title of that video on the channel, or What is Anxiety? Just uploaded last week. Hope that answers your part of your question, Sonia. All right. So I will wait for your other questions. I had a question here. I thought Anahita asked, what do you think of escitalopram? I'm not a doctor of medicine, so my knowledge about these sort of drugs are very limited. But I just know that it is supposed to be inhibiting serotonin. But there's so much more about it that I'm not qualified to discuss it. Therefore, I don't have a particular view on that because I don't know about drugs and so on and so forth. It's a sort of antidepressant, I believe, and it inhibits serotonin a bit that I know of it, but I don't know if it's this way or that way. No opinion on it, and I'm not a doctor, so I can't express any opinion on it anyhow. Russell says, I haven't seen my son in a month. My ex is not letting me see him. She's with another man, too. I feel so helpless. Even though I know I could never be back with her, I'm feeling so much pain. Over the loss. It's hard to deal with these issues all at once. How do I cope? Number one, I don't think there's any decent legal system that would deny you from seeing your son if you approach him through your lawyer or through the law of the land where you live. And if you've been a decent man, never physically or emotionally abused your spouse or your children, I don't see why any court would deny you from enjoying interaction with your son and raising him properly under your supervision and his mother as well. So I'm not sure how that works and why is it that you cannot see. It's not up to your spouse to let you see your son or not. It's up to the courts. And I'm sure if you have a lawyer or you have presented evidence of having been a good father, that I'm sure you are, then there should be no problem. So I think if you approach it through the legal means and your lawyer, you would have an excellent chance. Most systems in the world seem to be doing their best for the family laws, and I hope that is the case where you live as well. Akash says, I broke up with my girlfriend and I have moved on, but she called me every week, once asked me drop or to meet. I've asked her, we broke up, why do you want me to meet you? She said there would be something in her heart for me, that's why she is. But I don't see any changes in her attitude. Then You know the answer. You are master of your decisions, and she is boss of her own. She wants to see you, that's 50%. You don't want to see her, that's the other 50%. They nullify each other, and you guys do nothing. Keep going on your ways. You can make your own decisions. And if somebody likes you and loves you, and you want to make them do exactly as you wish all the time, and that's why you broke up with them, well, I don't think you will find any relationship that they will always do exactly what you want, and they shouldn't, because each person is free. And that's why it's called relationship, meaning trying to make it work between two different people. It's not supposed to be dictatorial and always things go my way, in the girl's way or in the boy's way. It has to be a fair arrangement. If it's based on trust and love and friendship, then it has to be equal and helpful to each other to cope with life. Not one making the other one, for the reasons that the other one needs this one or loves more this one, do everything that you want so you will feel good about yourself. I got her, or you got him, or something. So just be fair. It's not about your ego, it's about making things work. Anahita says, do you think she matters? Do you think it's best the guy you be older? I'm sorry, Anahita, I don't understand. Maybe you want to rephrase it. Do you think she matters? It looks like you're continuing certain questions, which I didn't get that first part. Oh, do you think age matters? Is that what you want to say? Do you think it's best the guy to be older? Well, traditionally, I've seen usually men are older than their girlfriends or wives. But recently, they're either same age or younger, older, or most of the time man is older. I guess maybe girls, majority of the girls happen to be having a boyfriend who's older than them. Majority of the boys happen to have a girlfriend that is younger than them. And some are same age, and some are the other way around. The girl is older than the guy. Depends how they really bond on their consciousness level and how they relate to each other. There's no rule about it, but this is how it's been, and this seems to be the trend, that usually boys are older than the girlfriend. Usually, but not necessarily. It doesn't matter the age unless it's really so much different. And if they are just keeping it a physical relationship, no depth to it, nothing to hold it, and it's only depending on how they're attracted to each other physically, and that then the age would come into the part. If the guy is too old compared to the girl, or if the girl is much older compared to the guy, and the relationship is only based on physical things, then obviously it's not going to work. But if there is a component of connection, deep connection on the consciousness level, and physical reactions as well, attractions as well, then there is a better chance for it to last longer. So we have Cindy from, I don't know where. It'd be good if you guys let me know where you guys are watching this. Okay, here it is. Grace, hello from California. Hello, Grace. Thanks very much for letting me know. Hello, Maran. Hello, dear. But I don't know where Every is. Abhishek says, hello, Maran. How is your day going? You can see how my day is going. I'm having sour cherry and hot water tea and talking with you guys. So obviously it's going great. And Cindy is from Florida. Great. Now we go back to Cindy. Says, live and let live. Okay, we are now in James Bond movies. See, 007, one of the movies with Live and Let Live, or Live and Let Die. That was a weird one. Free to live without imposing. I wish there were more teachings on love. It's more than feeling. Yes, true, very true. Anahita says, Mehran, can you teach us one thing to do daily, maybe to be happier? Yeah. When you get up, focus on that moment, on that very moment, and count your blessing right there. Start with recognizing that you are breathing. That itself is sign for joy, that I am having another day on this earth. How can I make it joyful for myself and be pleasant to the others and avoid negativities and bad energies that could be around, and have a propensity towards positivity, good people, good activities, things that can help me grow and others grow. But focus on that very breath that has made you sleep well and get up. Focus on that simple thing. That's where the happiness is. The fact that you have an opportunity to wash your face, clean yourself up, have a cup of tea or whatever it is that you like to do, to have in the morning, comb your hair, or just, if you don't have hair or you've shaved your head, just, wash your face and enjoy every wonderful thing that could be happening, and try to direct your thoughts toward the goodness that could be awaiting you. Because what's the alternative? Get up gloomy, upset, I don't have this, I don't have that, what bad things are waiting for me, what disasters could happen. These are all thoughts, and the other side is also thoughts. So why don't we just think good? Why don't we just count our blessing? Why don't we just be happy for the cup of tea that we have, for the fact that we opened our eyes, the fact that we have something to eat, the fact that we are safe. Just simple things that is actually maker of far bigger things. Because remember, nothing matters. I don't care what you have, how much money, what kind of things, possessions you have in life, if you can't have that nice breath, if you're not taking good care of yourself, if there is no you, nothing else matters, that you're so bogged down with it. So-and-so said this, so-and-so did that, I don't have that, I want that, then I have to do this. None of these problems that you call problem would be even in existence if you were not in existence. So the most important thing to be happy is not to have that house, to that car, have that car, to have that money, that girlfriend, or whatever relationship that you're into. It's all about, if you're not there, none of that matters. You're the center of the whole thing. You are the reason for the whole thing to exist in your world. So take care of yourself and be happy with the things that makes you feel good and healthy and comfortable and safe. And they're always simplest things. A sip of tea, clean air, tranquil time. Simple things. That's what you do every day. If you focus on that, pay full attention on that, the quality of your day would be more positive, happier. You will attract happier people, more positive people, because you're generating that, extending that yourself. So, Ardashir from Washington, hello dear. I hope that answers your question, Anahita. Cindy says, not to be dismissed as a James Bond movie. If we can learn to accept, live and let live without imposing our egos, I believe we could be at peace. Again, I wish there were more teachings on love. Love as a way of thinking, not being. That's true. Very true. Love is a frequency. As I always said, love is a frequency. And you got to find that frequency going in two ways with the person that you are in love with. Otherwise, if it's not a frequency, then it's a physical attraction, which is not love, it's lust. And that is not really that divine, it's just a physical mechanism that every human being and animal has. So it's not really something divine, it's something that we're programmed for procreation to have. So we got to understand love and lust are two different things. Physical attraction is wonderful, but that's not love. Love is much deeper than that. That's why I say it's a frequency that you need to resonate on the same level of resonation as each other. And even if you're not in love with that person, with any person, you can be in love with life itself. Appreciate, respect life with the love that you've received from it. All these trees, the energy flows through the universe. They all carry love for you, and wouldn't be just simply logical to reciprocate and meet the universe, meet life with what we received from it, which is life, which comes from love. Therefore, we can also give love back to the universe, which to me is what opens the road and pathways for you to arrive and achieve and continue your travel toward the destinations that you will encounter on your journey of life. Take love with you. It's like, say, never leave home without it, the credit card advertisement. Never leave home without it. But you don't have to extend love all the time to even people who are not extending the same. You just pass by them and extend your love to someone who's actually making that kind of a positive change in the society, in the world as a whole. The ones who are not extending love to you, you don't have to extend hate to them. You just pass by. Go to the next station where they're expecting and approving and, better said, respecting your love. Love should not be thought of so cheap. So give it to the people who appreciate it. Every says, okay, we're looking for questions and comments. Everybody can read them. Yes, I can see that you have been interested in this great teacher. Yes, that's an important thing to notice, that you got to understand, what is it that you call love? Do you really love that person that you're in a relationship with? Or do you love what she or he does for you? Is that love on the consciousness level, on the existence of that person? Are you guys reciprocating, helping each other to grow and develop? Or are you really infatuated and you actually love what each bring to each other in the form of comfort, money, service, whatever it is? It's a two different thing. That's why I say love is a frequency. It's not a thing. It's not because of thing. Of course, you can't have unconditional love in your relationship. It has to be conditional, meaning it has to be reciprocating on the same resonating level. It can't be turned into being used and taken and not given. That's not love. That's trade. That's business. That's domination. That's dictatorial. That's abusive. But if you really want to understand love, you got to understand, why do you love that person? Do you really love that person? Do you really know that person? Or you love what she does for you, or what he does for you? You have to understand love before you can feel it or resonate on it. So, Cindy and Every, Cindy says love is our natural state which becomes sabotaged. Who sabotages it, Cindy? You sure know the answer. And the work comes in realizing our natural state and in rethinking for some of us that we were taught. Often you see in the movies that someone gives a certain kind of a gift to someone or does something wonderful, and then the response is, she says to him, I love you. Or the actor sees a pretty girl, she's all beautiful and beautiful smile and so on and so forth, and he says, I love you. But you never get to see the content of this love and the actual roots of this love, based on they actually have created, interacted, resonated together, saw the life together, faced the situations and negotiated life together to create, build, feel, resonate, and have the same frequency, and then say, I love you. They usually say I love you because they're physically attracted, and that's their whole basis of pursuit of men for women or women for men. They all have different reasons, and the reasons have sabotaged their understanding of, do they really love that person, or do they really enjoy what that person brings to them or does for them or makes them feel? Is it fluffing their ego? Is it making their desire to come through? Or is it really love? These are all different things. So, on that basis, before we go really too deep to the point that we can't get out and finish our discussion, we end up being next week, we're still talking about it. It's a big subject. So let me go to the next one. Cindy says people. And people is ourselves. We can't control the people, but we can love correctly, and therefore, if we love correctly, obviously, that is loving us correctly, whatever that is. Often people devote their life to a cause. They love the cause. Maybe less betrayal through there. There's less impurities and distraction in there, because it's not, there's no physical attraction to stir up or make the reflection not quite clear of what it is. So, next topic, do we have any? Now, is someone in West Coast? Do we have anyone West Coast? Maybe someone can tell me what time it is before I turn around my attention from here and look for it. If I know what time it is, then I don't want to keep you guys too long. And perhaps some of you have other things to do, as I do. So we usually have an hour together. So if I know what time it is in the West Coast, whoever is in the West Coast, do we have anyone in the West Coast at all? or even if it's East Coast, I just take 3 hours out of it, and that will fix it up. No? Okay. Let me look it up. 12:35. All right. I think it's time for us to say goodbye for this week. And okay, Ardashir, so you must be somewhere in the mountain, in central states. So it is 12:35, and we start at 11:35. So we're pretty much done today. I wish you all have a wonderful week. Thank you for being here and sharing this time with me, giving me the opportunity to share things with you. Don't forget to please check the channel on the YouTube, Mind That Seeks Truth, or the channel is under my name, Mehran.be. And of course, encourage your friends to join our Facebook page. And make sure to visit my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, www.mindthatseekstruth.com, where you can read some of the sample chapters of the books that I've written and see what else is there for you. And if you ever wanted to have a one-on-one consultation with me, which I do that all through the week, all around the world, then you can go on the site and click on the Talk to Me for consultation, and you will have your options and see which one is suiting you best, and then we'll have a one-on-one chat on Skype. You will schedule me, and then I'll confirm it and so on. And please make sure that you share the videos that you like, and that way people will know their support and also know about our work here. Thank you again for being here. I look forward to see you guys next week. And tomorrow, most probably, I'll have another live talk at the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page, which has about over 5 million reach. And Sundays I have a live talk there, and Saturdays usually I have a live talk on my own Facebook page. So hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and love you all, and talk to you soon, and be good to yourself and to the others. Bye for now.